So, people often come to the UK looking for safety, right? A sanctuary from persecution. But what if that safety is just an illusion? What if the very government you fled could reach across the entire globe to threaten you, right here on British soil? Well, that's what we're digging into today. It's a hidden danger called transnational repression, and it seriously messes with the whole idea of what it means to be safe. Now, to really get a handle on this, you can't just look at statistics. That doesn't tell you the real story. The truth, well, it's found in the personal stories of the people who are living with this fear, day in and day out, right here in the UK.
Take this quote from Chloe Chung, for example. She's a 19-year-old activist. And just listen to this. She says her first thought is no longer trust, but suspicion. Can you imagine that? Every time you meet someone new, you're asking yourself, are they a spy? Are they trying to get information on me? It's not just about the fear of being physically hurt. It's this psychological warfare that just completely rewires how you see the world. It's absolutely crushing.
And here's the thing. That's the whole point. That's the strategic goal. It's not just about controlling one person. The real aim is to isolate them, to break apart entire communities from the inside out. It's designed to make people feel totally and utterly alone, even in a place that's supposed to be their refuge.
Okay, so we've seen the human cost, which is just devastating. But if we're going to fight this thing, we need to know exactly what we're dealing with. We need to put a name to it. So let's get into the nitty-gritty. What exactly is transnational repression? You'll see it called TNR in the report. All right, here's the official definition, and it's pretty straightforward when you break it down. There are three crucial parts. First, it's state-directed, meaning a government is behind it. Second, it happens outside that government's own country. And third, it stomps all over fundamental human rights. So the bottom line here? This isn't some random act of crime. No, this is the long arm of the state, reaching out deliberately to exert power. And the ways they do this, wow. The tactics are all over the map, and they're designed to hit every single part of a person's life. It can be something like online harassment or disinformation campaigns, but it gets much, much scarier. We're talking about threats to family members back home, actual physical stalking and surveillance, and, in the absolute worst cases, physical violence and even assassination plots right here on UK soil.
So, when you put all of that together, what do you get? You get something called the chilling effect, and this is absolutely key. The real goal isn't just to punish one individual. It's to make an example out of them. By going after a few outspoken critics, these regimes send a powerful message. It creates this ripple of fear that quiets down entire communities. It's a brutally effective way to maintain control.
Okay, so who's actually doing this? Which countries are we talking about? Well, the UK Parliament's report doesn't pull any punches. It names names, and it highlights a few key states that are using these tactics again and again right here in the UK. This table really lays it out clearly. It's not a one-size-fits-all approach. Different states have their own playbook. So you've got China, accused of widespread surveillance, putting bounties on activists' heads, and setting up these unofficial police stations. Then there's Russia, which has a history of misusing Interpol and, of course, carrying out assassinations like the Salisbury attack. Iran is another major one, with plots to assassinate people and intimidate journalists. And then you have a country like Eritrea, which uses tactics like a forced diaspora tax and keeps an eye on its people at so-called festivals. And if you want a number that really drives home how serious this is, just look at this. More than 20. That's the number of threat-to-life cases connected to Iran that MI5, that's the UK's security service, has had to disrupt since just the start of 2022. Think about that. This isn't some theoretical problem. It's an active and, frankly, a lethal threat happening right now. So what this all points to is a huge disconnect, a real conflict at the heart of the UK's whole approach. On one hand, the UK's reputation is built on safety and the rule of law. But on the other hand, this report shows there's this massive blind spot when it comes to transnational repression. And this comparison just lays it all out, plain and simple. On one side, you've got what the report says is absolutely necessary. You need a formal definition of TNR, you need to actually collect data on it, you need a coordinated national strategy. And on the other side, the current reality in the UK. No formal definition, no routine data collection, no clear strategy. It's not just a small gap in policy, it's a fundamental failure. The system can't even properly see the problem, so how's it supposed to fix it?
And this failure has devastating real-world consequences for people. Just try to put yourself in their shoes for a second. You're a victim. You go to the police for help, but the officers often don't have the specialized training to even understand what you're talking about. There's no dedicated hotline, no single place to report what's happening to you. And to make things even worse, the very regime that's targeting you can turn around and abuse international systems like Interpol, getting a red notice issued against you. Suddenly, the entire world's law enforcement might be looking for you. It's a nightmare.
But it's not all doom and gloom. The report isn't just here to point out the problems. It actually offers a way forward. So let's pivot and look at the committee's recommendations. What's their plan to actually start protecting people?
The committee lays out a really common-sense four-step plan. Step 1, adopt a formal definition. You have to be able to name the problem to fight it. Step 2, collect the data. You can't manage what you don't measure. Step 3, train and support. This means getting police the specialized training they need and giving victims a dedicated, safe way to report these crimes. And finally, Step 4, take it to the international stage. Put pressure on bodies like Interpol to stop authoritarian states from abusing the system.
And this all builds to one really important point. The UK can't fix this alone. It's in the name, right? Transnational repression. So it needs a transnational solution. The report is basically telling the UK to team up with its allies, to make this a top priority on the world stage, and to push the issue at places like the United Nations.
So that leaves us with a pretty heavy question, one that really gets to the heart of our modern interconnected world. If a government's power can stretch across any border, any ocean, where on earth can its critics ever find a place to be truly safe?